Hi everybody and welcome to English for today. Okay, so for the last couple of days we've been looking at writing in a persuasive way about trying to persuade people with our language, to ask them to do something or to encourage them to do something or to believe something. Today we're going to look at an element that we can put into our persuasive writing, into our persuading writing, and that is exclamation marks. And the title of today is What an Exclamation! Let's look. Okay, so this is an exclamation mark. You've all seen them before, but I'm not quite sure that every single one of you knows the different ways that they can be used. You can use it in a few different ways. They can be used to show surprise. They can be used to add emphasis. That means to put meaning on something or something in particular if you want people to have that fact stand out a little bit more than others. So you can add some emphasis and some meaning. To show strength in someone's language or what they're saying. And to show shouting. We often show shouting with exclamation marks, and you might have seen that in some of your reading books. So an exclamation sentence is what is used in a story or a piece of writing or in instructions perhaps sometimes or in persuasive writing to show when somebody is surprised. And it always starts with how or what, and it contains a verb which you know is a doing word, and it also contains a noun. This is an exclamation sentence. It says, what a great footballer you are. So it's got the verb in it and it's got the noun in it. What a great footballer you are. And this one's nice. It says, how kind you are. So both of those are exclamation sentences. Remember, they start with how and they start with what. Can you point to the one that starts with how? That's right, it's the yellow one. And can you point to the one that begins with what? That's the purple one. Well done. So they begin with how and they begin with what. You can have exclamations that often aren't in sentences, and these are actually the ones that you quite often find in your reading book. They still start with how or what, but they don't have the verb in, and they're normally a little bit shorter than a sentence. What fun! How lovely! Both of those are exclamation, they're not exclamation sentences, but they exclaim something. So let's have a little look at some of the other ways that you can use an exclamation mark, because I want us to try and add these into our information poster this week. So you can use it for a command. Now, commands are bossy and they often include our imperative verbs that we've looked at in the past. Go away, that's a command. You're telling somebody to do something. Eat your tea. I wonder if your mum or dad or grown-up has had to tell you to do that before. Be quiet, that's a command. Come here, that's a command. And sit down. Can you hear the way I changed my voice for those commands? So yes, exclamation marks can be used to command and to be a little bit bossy. And it does sound like somebody is shouting or, like I said, being bossy. You can use it when you're surprised or excited. Oops. I don't just say oops with a full stop, do I? I change my voice. I'm sounding surprised and excited. Whoops. Wow. That sounds much better than just wow. I love it. Summer holidays. We'll be saying that in a few weeks when it's Easter holidays. And brilliant. All of those have exclamation marks after them because they're showing that they're surprised or they're excited. I want you to have a little look at these sentences today, and we're going to do a bit of comparing. So they are the same sentences on each side, but the ones on the left haven't got the exclamation marks. The ones on the right have got the exclamation marks. What I want you to do is pause the video on this slide, on this page, And I want you to have hopefully you've got a grown-up nearby that can just help you for a few seconds. I want you to have a go at saying the one on the left with no exclamation mark, and then say the one on the right with the exclamation mark, and hopefully you should be able to change your voice to show either that you're commanding something, or that you're surprised, or that you're excited. Let me do a couple and then you can pause it. So I'll do the top one. So without an exclamation mark and with a full stop, we say, I love your hair. I love your hair. But if we put the exclamation mark, it changes our voice. We sound happy and excited or surprised. I love your hair. Did you hear the difference? And then the second one, how funny you are. But with the exclamation mark, how funny you are. Pause the video and see if you can have a little go at saying these with somebody at home. So, think carefully about what we know. We know the different ways that exclamation marks can be used. It can be used for how or what phrases, exclamation mark sentences with how or what. Remember, they have to have the verb and the noun. It can be used to show surprise or emphasis or strength or shouting, and that's what we were just practicing with our voice. So you might wonder why I am showing you exclamation sentences and exclamation marks and phrases when we are in the middle of doing our persuasive writing, our persuading. But let's have a little look at the holiday posters that we looked at on Monday this week, sorry. Here we are. Here's the one for Disneyland Paris. If you look carefully, there are a number of exclamation marks on that page that have been used with sentences or with words or with phrases to try and encourage people to go. There's the first one, and it says with you, the public. They're trying to emphasise that you could be there, you could be at Disneyland Paris. They're trying to get you to want to go and persuade you. Here's one. Join us to make all your dreams come true. They're definitely trying to emphasise that. They want people to keep that bit in their head. Join us to make all your dreams come true. They want people to remember it, keep it in their head to persuade them to go. And this is perhaps the simplest one. It says, Disneyland Paris, the happiest place on earth. No, I'm not sure that's even true. It's a fab place to be, I'm sure, but I'm not sure if it's the happiest place on earth. But what they're doing is adding an exclamation mark on there to try and excite you and make you surprised and happy about it. So you can see they've got exclamation marks on this page to try and emphasise the happy bits. Let's have a look at the next one. Now on this page, the exclamation marks are used a little bit more bossily. We've got the top one that says nature's best kept secret. That's not so bossy, but these ones at the bottom, visit now, you won't regret it. It's almost telling you to do something. Visit now. It's giving you a command. And this one, don't miss out. Don't miss out. Again, they're commanding you to try and get you to go. Today, you're going to get a sheet that looks a little bit like this, and I want you to think up some exclamation sentences or phrases that you can use about Brazil. And I want you to think of a few because you're going to choose the best one to put on your poster on Thursday. I've got some examples on here that I've done. This one says, don't miss out on this chance. That's a bit of a command. Don't miss out on this chance. And then the Amazon rainforest is the best. Trying to emphasise it and make it sound really exciting. Come to Brazil, you'll love it. That's almost a bit like a command and some excitement. Now I want you to have a chat with your grown-up to think of one more to put in that bottom box that's empty. And then, once you've done that one with your grown-up, having a little chat, it's your turn to try and think of some of your own exclamation sentences. This is quite a good activity to get as many ideas as you can, and then you can pick the best one or two to add to your poster on Thursday. You don't have to use them all, but it's a good bit of a brainstorming idea to think of lots of different ideas, and on Thursday you can pick the best. You can always go back through the PowerPoint if you need a bit of a reminder about exclamation marks. But do your best. Give me a shout if you need anything, and I'll speak to you soon. See you later, everyone. Bye-bye.